Hey guys, welcome to TecQuipped. In this video, we're going to be looking at real product management interview question, monetize Google Calendar. Before I jump into solving this, for any product question, first understand what the product is, ask a bunch of clarification questions if you have, and look at the goal of the product, look at who the users are, what their pain points are, then jump to the solutions you would want to offer, along with a bit of go-to-market strategy, and then the success metrics of the product. So let's get started. So Google Calendar is a product that allows you to book meetings with other people while also ensuring your calendar serves as a reference point for other people who want to book a meeting with you, hence minimizing meeting clashes. Essentially, it allows you to stay organized throughout the day. Now wait for the interviewer to confirm this. Then let's jump to clarifying questions. There are 3 questions that I'd want to ask at this point. Is there a segment we should target, B2B or B2C? Are we allowed to look at commissions coming from developers who build over Google Calendar? Or should we build an in-house feature? Let's take the second approach. Are we looking to sell this as a standalone feature or package this as a part of enterprise plan? Let's assume our goal is to do both. Now that our questions are clear, let's move on to the users of Google Calendar. At this point, I can think of 7 user groups: working professionals, students, freelancers, gamers, doctors, influencers, and educators. As a thumb rule, you should aim to monetize the user group where your product has the highest adoption when it comes to monetizing the product. This was the user acquisition problem. You should look at that may not be the biggest user group. Let's move on. In this case, I'm going to choose working professionals. I'm going to sub-segment working professionals into 3 different categories: CXOs, managers, and entry-level working professionals. The reason I'm trying to sub-segment because each of these groups have different pain points, and while there might be some overlap, I'd rather choose 1 or 2 of these user groups. Now I know managers is probably the biggest user group, but I'm going to choose CXOs and managers because some of the pain points between both of these might be common. Let's start with CXOs. There are 5 pain points that I can think of right. Number 1, I don't have time to book meeting with someone. Number 2, I feel lack of context moving into a meeting. Number 3, lack of notes and actionables after the meeting. Number 4, some meetings feel like a waste of my time. Number 5, lack of visibility of someone else's calendar. So I have to write him an email, text him somewhere in order to get a meeting slot. And most of these are also applicable for managers. There are 3 unique pain points that could be relevant for managers. Number 1, sometimes taking notes is hard. Number 2, I'd like to assign someone an actionable post the meeting and I have to do it manually, hence it sometimes falls off the crack. Number 3 is specific to HR managers. They have to look at calendars of 2 people. It ends up with a lot of back and forth and hence leaves a bad impression on the candidate. Now some of these pain points are similar. For example, lack of notes and actionables is similar. Sometimes taking notes is hard. Lack of visibility of calendar is similar to HR manager's problem. Both of these can be clubbed. Effectively, we have 4 problems. Number 1, lack of notes post meeting. Number 2, lack of visibility on calendars. Number 3, lack of context prior to meetings. And finally, number 4, I don't have time to book a meeting with someone. This is going to be the priority of pain points. Now, when deciding the priority, you should look at pain point that is affecting most number of users, the user groups, and drill it down from that point on. Let's look at the solution now. So I have 3 solutions in mind. Number 1, auto booking. This feature will smartly identify free slots in both calendars, obviously ensuring that the time slots are within working hours and the user is not out of office. Automatically create meetings for these individuals. Number 2, auto notes. Will use machine learning and AI in order to automatically take notes. And number 3 is the extension to number 2, integration to third-party apps, where post meetings, these actionables can directly be pushed to apps like Jira, Utrag, Asana with the respective individual as the owner of these actionables. Decide the priority in which you would want to build this. I'll first focus on building auto notes because we already have the feature of captions and the machine learning model will probably take longer in order to become highly accurate. Number 2 is the integration with apps. This is going to be a simple API call. So the minute we roll out auto notes, we should focus on building the integration. And finally, number 3, it should not be a huge tech effort to build this because we don't have this capability as of today. And there'll be certain scenarios that you'd want to address. I'd focus on building this last. Go to market and strategy. I'm just going to add 2 points here. Number 1, can either roll it out as a standalone premium plugin on our marketplace and then the users who are interested in can come and buy the extension. Number 2, I can package this as a part of my premium enterprise plan in order to improve adoption of that specific plan. The metrics to track the success of this feature, these features would be number of users buying this extension. Number 2, for the customers who are currently using this extension, percentage of bookings made using our extension versus made manually, percentage of meetings that were rescheduled manually after booking using our extension, number of API calls that are triggered third-party app, number of users opening our notes feature prior to the call. This is going to be the whole structure of my solution. I'd recommend when you're in an actual interview, you take breaks and speak to interviewers in order to ensure that you're going in the right direction. Now, if there is anything you'd want to add to the solution that I just mentioned, please feel free to add that in the comment section. But I hope this video was able to help you. I'm going to cover more product management interview questions. So if you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel and ensure that you like this video and share it across with a few, and have a good one.